obviously I had to do a dhow cruise for sunset in Muscat. This is khanjar or a dagger, and this is part of traditional Omani costume. I don't look as good as these guys though. In this video, I'm taking you to the super underrated capital of Oman, Muscat. Hello from Muscat. I'm going to be spending the next 2 days here exploring this beautiful city, which is the capital of Oman. It's also the largest city, and I like it mainly because it is a beautiful city that has kept sort of rooted in its old tradition. So for the longest time, the only buildings allowed were up to like 3 floors, and then it went to like 12 floors for certain buildings, but nothing beyond that. So no skyscrapers. This is not Dubai, this is not Abu Dhabi. They've kept like a really good connection with their past. It's very well maintained, very beautiful, not very public transport walking friendly, but that's all cities in the Middle East. I mean, when it's 47 degrees outside, I don't think anyone wants to walk. So for the next 2 days, I will explore the city and I'll take you around to see what we can do here, starting with this gorgeous building. This is the Royal Opera House of Oman. So let's start the tour. The Royal Opera House of Muscat is built in marble, and it is a relatively young building that opened its doors in 2011. Like most important buildings in Muscat, it is covered in white marble and has beautifully manicured lawns. Well, you know how dry Middle East can be, and flowers are a big precious commodity here. The complex is quite big. It can accommodate up to 1,100 people and has an art center, a concert theater, auditorium, and a cultural market, luxury boutiques and restaurants. I'm joining a tour to see the interior of this beautiful building, which is equally impressive inside. There's one word that describes the interior, and that is opulent. It is really beautifully and tastefully done. The crowning jewel in this building is the main auditorium, which is absolutely beautiful. Even more impressive is the list of performers which you can check when you're on the tour. I walked about 10-15 minutes from the Royal Opera House and I am at the Qurum Beach. Now this one seems to be the favorite of Omani people because I was checking online, asking around, and everyone just mentions this beach first. And I mean, it's a really nice beach. It's a beautiful beach and there's not a lot of people despite it being Friday. But it's really nice. You can see, you know, people walking around. It's nice. But I guess the main attraction here is the cafes and the social life around. So I'm gonna check a few of those around as well. But definitely really chilled here. On subject of beaches, there are quite a lot of nice beaches around Wadi Shab, as well as Bima Sinkhol, the wild ones, and they are much nicer than this. Also, this teeny tiny island you see behind me, it's called Fahal Island or the Shark Island, and I'm not sure if you can go there or not. It definitely looks quite mysterious. Yeah, let's go walk around a little bit on the beach now. Being a conservative Muslim society, the beaches don't have the same importance as they do in the West, but if you walk along you can see all the cafes and restaurants really busy and buzzing, which is great for socializing and people watching. I am at Bandar Al Rowdha Marina, and obviously I had to do a dhow cruise for sunset in Muscat because that's the best way to see the city from the ocean. So, let's go! Because of its glorious maritime past, Oman has a very deep connection with these wooden ships called dhows. And even though most of the stuff happens on the modern boats now, this is a great way to, you know, just sail around, watch the beautiful sunset and just, you know, enjoy yourself. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Joining the tour was actually quite easy. I called up one of the many companies. You can also check the tickets via your hotel. The Dhow cruise is an incredible way to see the sunset, but you also get to see Muscat from the sea and two beautiful forts, Al Mirani and Al Jalali. In a way, that was great because I got the beach to myself, which I really enjoyed. Do you see that teeny tiny boat behind me? That's the yacht of Sultan of Oman. It is actually humongous, and you can actually see it in Mutrah Corniche. Most of the time it's standing there. What an absolutely amazing end to an absolutely stunning day. Muscat is so dreamy and the sunset was amazing. It sounds weird to say, but if you want a more authentic, proper Dhow experience with the sailboats, you need to go to Lamu in Kenya. They still do it there. And if you don't believe me, check out my Lamu video from Kenya series. Another thing for Muscat, if you're trying to find a place, I would recommend the neighborhood of Rowdha. That's much closer to everything. I went to Boshar, which is quite far away, and I'm having to use a lot of taxi, which is obviously expensive here. Public transport in Muscat is not great either, and this city is not made for walking at all. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm in the Oman Mall, which is the biggest mall in the country, I believe. It's in Muscat, and the reason I'm here is twofold. One, because you get to see some local life. You get to see the locals going about their normal-ish life, because most of the socializing for Omanis happens behind closed doors. So this is a good chance to see the family side of things as a foreigner. And the second reason for coming here is to get to see they're really modern, but you also see they incorporate a lot of the local side of things, the culture. So it's a good way of seeing modernism mixed with the local culture. So you can go to any mall, there's tons around, but this one is a pretty good one, and there's decent shops, food, etc. So yeah, it's not a bad place, especially during the afternoon when it's like really hot outside. In summers it could be like 47, 48 degrees. This provides an easy, good respite. Good morning, I'm taking you to the Sultan Qaboos Grand Mosque, and before you ask why am I taking you to a mosque, have a look at this. As the name suggests, the building is grand, and I'm absolutely impressed by how beautifully it merges into its surroundings. A big reason why it merges so beautifully in its surroundings is the Indian sandstone, 300,000 tons of it. This is the main hall of the Grand Sultan Qaboos Mosque, and it is beautiful. Now, if you want to come here, you do need to make sure that you're wearing proper clothes. If you're a woman, your head is covered, your elbows, your knees are covered as well. Otherwise, you will need to buy something from the gift shop. It is only open from 8 to 11 a.m. for the tourists, and the rest of the time it's open for prayers, but you won't be able to look around. So yeah, make sure you come accordingly. Let's go check out the mosque now.
The main prayer hall takes a break from the exterior and it is beautiful. Just look at that carpet. It took 4 years just to produce that carpet, and it was actually at one point the largest carpet in the world. I'm really surprised that the chandelier is 14 meters tall, and there's even a staircase inside for maintenance, but it looks fairly proportionate because the building is 90 meters high. I'm a huge fan of geometry and symmetry, and this building is dreamy. It's pure pleasure just to walk around in it. If you like more off the beaten path, interesting destinations, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Welcome to Mutrah, the old side of Muscat. This is where older Muscat used to be, and obviously it has expanded a lot since then. But the Corniche is an absolutely amazing place to come and experience this, because you also get to see the Sultan Qaboos's yacht. And this is the other side. So just walking around on the Corniche, you will see the old architecture. You will see the Shia Mosque, which has a very beautiful minaret and a dome. I mean, I don't think you can go inside, but even from outside it's gorgeous. And there are castles which you will see here. And if you keep walking in that direction, you will see more watchtowers and castles. Unfortunately, it's not allowed to go inside. So let's go check out the Souq first. And yeah, we get to do a little bit of a tour. And it's also a great place for sunset, because you get to see some dhows coming by to check out the sunset where we were yesterday. And also a great place if you want to do some shopping for bahur, frankincense, etc., which is the most amazing thing ever. I mean, I've never been anywhere where taxis smell so good. Let's go check it out now. One of the most interesting things to find in the Souq is this, frankincense. Now, this is something that gave Oman a lot of sway in the past when it was an empire, and it built a lot of empires like Petra, which were then razed to the ground because this lost its value. This is something from the history. And now you can buy it for as little as 3.5 riyal for this huge packet. This is a khanjar or a dagger, and this is part of traditional Omani costume. Now, these are considered really precious and personal, and they are really beautifully, intricately designed. I mean, look at this. This is made of silver and it's about 180 riyal, and if you open it, it may go something like, you know, on your dress, and then so if you go around, you can check these, and they are really stunning. Don't miss these out. This is a traditional Omani cap,
yes,
called kaf, and this is worn normally by younger people, or it's a more informal thing. It actually comes from Africa, but it has become part of life in Oman. So if you fancy one, do get one. On a more formal occasion, you will get something slightly different.
This is the turban. This is the turban.
And I am in Musar, and this is used mainly for formal events by older guys. or it is also compulsory for government civil servants. I don't look as good as these guys though. Pure gold is considered the most precious gift you can give anyone in most Middle Eastern and South Asian cultures. And for that reason, you will see a lot of gold here, but most of it is just gold. No precious or semi-precious stones, very little of it, mainly because that is considered cheapening the gold. So if you come here, you will get to see a lot of bling. And this is a small sort of alley, which is very easy to miss. So when you come, do have a little look at all this bling. It's really interesting.
And the sunsets over Muscat really dreamy. It is a city made for sunsets. I'm staying a couple more days in Muscat, but I'm doing 2 day trips which I will show you in next video. One is to Wadi Shab and Bima Sinkhole, and the second one to that amazing set of islands called Dimaniyat. So click on the link above and meet me there.
Guys, this is Brown Boy Travels. Let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. If I've missed something, please let me know. Also, give me some suggestions about your country. I will see you in the next video. Until then, you have an amazing day ahead. Mwah.